Kick a keeper. Go kick a keeper. Kick a keeper.
Go kick a keeper. We don't talk about no.
My old lady always would say, if shit had bones, it would stand up and walk.
I'm not really worried about it.
Okay, my response would be this. You don't choose Leeds United. Leeds United chooses you.
Welcome back to the Stoop, football fans. It's your boy Lolo here on another Friday night. Happy Festivus to us all. It is Festivus for the rest of us. And yes, I know technically Festivus isn't until Monday, but this is our Festivus weekend show. This is our yearly show where we get to celebrate a holiday that was created by the series Seinfeld and that we in New York treat as gospel. So Festivus is a fun holiday for the rest of us. And one of the main things about it is the airing of grievances. And we will be airing some grievances later on in the show. So stick around for that. And if you have any grievances over this Premier League season that you would like to talk about, we'll send out the link and you can get on here and air your grievances as well. But first and foremost, it's Friday night. Let's get those beers flowing.
Ugh. Cheers, buddy.
All right. Good to see you.
What's the
All
matter?
right. What?
You made a bitter beer face.
It's just a Budweiser beer face, I think. When you drink it and you're like, that's what I'm having tonight. Okay.
Oh,
All right, let's do this.
That's what I'm having.
But I went with the Christmas selection. They got the
Right.
Christmassy beers on there. Yeah, you got to do it. So
Have fun.
cheers. Well, it is the holiday season. The fixtures are coming fast and furious, as they like to say. Seems like every team has a week match at the weekend, as well as a match midweek, be it Carabao Cup, be it Champions League, Europa Conference League. I'm sure we have the League Cup stuff coming up as well. But everybody's playing so many matches right now, it's hard to keep up. For example, my Arsenal, we played Crystal Palace on Wednesday, and we won. And tomorrow we play Crystal Palace again. So that's fun. Of course, two different competitions. But yes, Arsenal are in the semi-final up against Newcastle. And if Arsenal can handle Newcastle United, we will see either a Liverpool-Arsenal final or a North London derby final, which is some crazy finals for this little cup game. But let's not count out Newcastle United. They have already beat Arsenal once this season. I'm just saying, if they do win, there could be some, interesting things going on there. Wouldn't it be awesome for Arsenal to deny Spurs yet another trophy and take their first trophy in a few years? But what would be worse is if Arsenal went to a North London derby Carabao Cup final and we lost and gave Tottenham their first trophy. Oh, I couldn't stand that. I couldn't stand if that were to happen. So let's not let that happen. What's going on, Scooby D2? Good to see you there. Valentina as well. And Anders always first on the show. Very good to see you all there. So let's get started. I'm going to bring out my co-host, Mark, so we can get talking football. Mr. Mark.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Happy Festivus. Lolo, we missed you last week. And as promised, I got my Festivus poll here.
You got that.
Oh,
That's
it's
100% aluminum, right?
It is 100%. It's whatever material you want it to be. If you're a Marvel fan or you want it to be adamantite, you can have it. You can be whatever you want.
No, I think it has to be aluminum.
Festivus.
No tinsel, right?
No tinsel.
No tinsel. I had a bad experience with tinsel.
I think
This is all the tinsel I can handle, and I just pluck it out if I had hair.
He finds it very distracting.
I find it very distracting. Yeah. So Lolo, what is your scenario? I mean, I kind of, as we all did when just before the draw, we all predicted Arsenal, Newcastle, Liverpool going against Spurs, because that was, if you're going for ratings, That's what you want. You want either to have Arsenal prevent Tottenham from getting, the first trophy in like almost a little bit longer than Arsenal, for that major trophy. And don't you count that charity cup.
No, the FA Cup. First of all, the FA Cup.
When was that? I think that might be BS,
4 years ago.
but just before Stoop. Before Stoop.
It's what kept Arteta in the job. It's when we were playing Chelsea and Pulisic was destroying us, and then he went down with like a broken leg, and we came back and we won.
Yeah. I
remember
now.
I was in Spain for that and watching it with Lawler, and I went, God damn it, that means 4 more years of Arteta. And you know what? These 4 years,
it worked. I think it worked out pretty damn well for you. In those 4 years, I will point out that we have had 5 managers. 5, and that's going to be one of my grievances. I'm just going to give you a sneak preview right now.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the tricky part about the whole manager thing, where you start calling for your manager's head at every turn. And it was something that I've always hated about clubs like Chelsea, and Man United and clubs like that won't stick anything out because they have no plan, and they have such a fear of their fan base. Their fan base is already so unhappy. Even though Arsenal's was so unhappy, we still had a history of sticking with managers until they have actually seen their vision out. And even though we went with Unai Emery and then quickly got rid of him, I think that is a shorter amount of time of we saw that even if something were to work, like even if he would have kept the team and still won the cup, because everybody says Arteta won it with Emery's team, blah, blah, blah. I think Arsenal higher ups realized fairly quickly that he's not our long-term solution, and that's really what they were looking for, was a long-term solution. So
yeah, I think for me, it's something that I've remarked on from time to time again since I've been watching football and since we've been doing the show. It has always baffled me on how quick teams and ownerships are willing to pull the plug on a manager. And, to see like quality clubs with quality squads just go, you know what, you're not cutting it. But then I think even deeper and I go, well, there's a lot at stake. I mean, it's not like, in the NFL, NBA, NHL that, that if you have a shitty season, you're still going to be in your league, in your division, in your conference, in Premier League football, and in other football leagues around the world. If you have a shitty season, you run the risk of like tons of exposure, tons of money, and you're no longer, you're relegated. I mean, you don't get to play in the league. Can you imagine? Tanking would not be a thing like we have in the United States. And for those of you that don't know, tanking is purposely losing so that you can get a better draft pick to improve your team, or maybe there's a certain someone out there that you want from the college ranks. But back to my original question, Lolo, which matchup do you want? Do you want Liverpool and see if you can beat them and win the cup, and then have tons of confidence knowing that you might be able to catch them? Or do you want to prevent Spurs from putting a little more shinier trophy next to all them dusty ones?
Easy answer. 100%. I'd rather see Liverpool in the final for many, many reasons. But first of all, Spurs, I don't want them to have any bragging rights. We got to a final, you didn't. We got to the same final you did. Blah, 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 blah. Also, I don't want to run the risk of some weird shit happening and Tottenham winning and getting their first trophy against us. It would ruin Mark, that would be decades of bragging rights. They wouldn't have to win anything forever because they would always be able to say, yeah, oh, we don't have very many trophies, huh? The one we do have, we won against you. We went head to head with you and you gave it to us, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to, the reward of us denying Tottenham a trophy, that's not high enough for me for
Right.
that risk. You know what I mean? That being said, the reason I really want Liverpool is because it is that if we are going to get into a fight with them for the league, which I hope we are, I hope we're still in a fight for the league, and that it's us and Liverpool and Chelsea's out of the way at that point, hopefully. But to have some head-to-head confidence experience like that would boost morale incredibly. So,
Right. I think for me, I would like to see a Liverpool Arsenal final, but only because I think that is almost a win-win for Arsenal. It's a win if you beat them, because then yes, you do gain confidence. Hey, we took on our competitor, the one that we have to catch. We beat them. Let's go get this. On the other side of the coin, it could be one of those things where if Liverpool were to win, they might look at it as we've pretty much wrapped the league up. We beat our one of our toughest competitors, and we beat them again, and
we could do the double. Let's do the double, and they will still be in the Champions League probably.
Then suddenly they end up with like this kind of where they almost relax.
Yep.
You know, and I could see that happening. I don't see it happening with Arsenal because there's still something to be earned, you know? And so I could see Liverpool just going, hey, we got this, and we took care of Arsenal, and we've got the league. This is all, you know, having kind of like this overconfidence and maybe looking toward things, looking toward Europe in the, you know, next year's Champions League. But I think drawing Liverpool is a win-win for Arsenal.
Yeah. That being said, as Moss said, 2 legs Magpies coming up. We can't forget the semifinal is 2 legs. So think about that for Liverpool and Tottenham as well. Those are, whatever you say about Tottenham, as Spursy as they are, they play. Teams have to ball out against them. And yes, they may end up losing in the end. And they tried as hard as they could to let Man United back in that game. I thought all of a sudden it was going to go to penalties. But they're going to wear Liverpool out as well.
Can you show him the stick? The pole?
Yeah. Mark has his stick.
I guess, well, the pole. He was a little late, I guess.
Yeah, he has his pole for airing of grievances.
And if I hold it just right in the glow of the screen, it kind of looks aluminum. I'll bring it back, and yeah, it kind of looks aluminum. No tinsel. We here at the Stoop, as we said earlier, find tinsel distracting. Anyway,
I just letting everybody know, I am not in any way looking past Newcastle. Newcastle have gotten the better of Arsenal in the past 2 seasons. I think they beat us once each in the last 2 seasons. They've already beat us this season. Now, they play us tough. They play us very tough. So I don't expect nothing's come easy for Arsenal this season. Nothing has. There's rarely been a game where you're just like, boom, solid, no worries, win. All of them have been fucking sketchy. And Newcastle is going to keep a tight game against us, and it'll be a 1-0 to somebody, or probably 0-0 first leg, and then second leg 1-0. And that's the thing about these cup games where you're kicked out. You know, you got to win your game. So I think out of those 4, Liverpool playing Tottenham, they're going to wear each other out more than Arsenal Newcastle are, because Newcastle Arsenal isn't a end-to-end game. generally speaking.
Right.
Liverpool,
No,
Tottenham,
very true.
Liverpool, Tottenham
Very
is,
true.
and you know those are midweek matches as well. Liverpool has another midweek match against Everton that they're going to have to make up because they missed that match last week. So I think for the next like 8 weeks or something, Liverpool is playing 2 matches a week, which is good for Arsenal in the league. It's good for everybody in the league, I guess, unless they just don't stop winning, and then you're like, what do we have to hold on to?
I didn't know that the semifinal was an aggregate. None of the other
there's VAR.
None of the other matches.
It starts in the semifinal.
So there's VAR as well.
And there's VAR because there's no more teams in it that don't have VAR or something.
Because I got to tell you, I guess it was the Tottenham match where the goalie is kind of interfered with. If there was VAR, I could have easily seen like a 10-minute, let's see it from all the different angles that we have.
And they probably would have called it off. Even though I don't think it really impeded him.
But the argument would be is that the defender jumped first and then the goalie jumps up and basically hooks his arm. So if my arm is already out there and you grab it, I'm not really sure how that could be.
That was a keeper knowing that he was beat and trying
to make something happen.
Yeah, because you could see his right arm comes under and gets hooked, and his right arm can't get it, but his left arm would have been the one that could get it, and his left arm was nowhere near. His left arm was
right, and not only that, but he immediately is like waving at the ref.
Yeah, because he got touched on his hand, and with VAR, it probably would have been called back. As a football fan, I don't think that's the right call. I think you give that goal because, and you have to realize the impedance might have been there, but he was nowhere near it. It's like when they call the offside when another player is standing kind of in the way, where you're like, okay, look, I know he's offside, and I know technically he's in front. But the keeper, the keeper's nowhere near that ball, nowhere near going to save it. How are you going to, he was offside. Same thing with the Gabriel Jesus, one of the Gabriel Jesus goals. They were like, if VAR came on, probably his shoulder might have been a little bit offside and it might have been called back. But that to me is going, they looked pretty much level. There was no advantage had. That's not an offside goal. And even if if they go, it was here or here, you mean to tell me that's a goal and that's not a goal? Like,
yeah.
So there's a lot of this that I'm
still,
happy with.
Offsides and handballs are just it's just not. It's not called consistently enough for me to even have like a grasp on it. It's like for me, like. When they call the arm, like Bamford, I think he got called offsides because he had the arm out. But it seems to me like in that offsides conversation that if you're if you can't use your arms, why does your arm put you offsides? Anything
your hand, your arm isn't offside. It's
anything, but
if your elbow is offside, that's not offside. That's not offside. What they called was his shirt, because it's from your shirt up.
Oh, is that?
So what they called was when he pointed his shirt sleeve this much, and to me, it's like onside, offside. How is that an advantage? Yeah,
fair enough.
Yeah. This is a very serious program for Festivus. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Have you never seen the episode of Festivus? They are so serious.
Mark, I wanted to ask you, going back to the whole manager situation, because you guys happen to be without manager right now. And you were talking about the whole flip-flopping of managers or flipping through managers, trying to find the right thing like that. And how do you know when to stick, when to twist? And for me, the Gary ONeal decision on performance alone, I think was premature, because you have to look at the schedule, the strength of schedule, the home and away of all of that. I feel like you guys have played all the best teams. You're yet to play the worst teams. When you've played the best teams, you've also been away a lot of times. So I think your schedule has you fucking dead last, bottom, horrible. But you've shown a lot of promise and a lot of stuff that Gary ONeal was actually putting together. My opinion here, Mark, and this is what I want to know. I want to know, first of all, do you agree with me that it was premature? And second of all, do you think he was let go performance related alongside the post-match tussles that were happening amongst players? Does that prove that he does not have a handle on these players? There's something wrong, that they feel they can do this shit after every match? Do you think that has a lot to do with it? Like I'm saying, Cunha basically got him fired by his behavior.
Yeah, I like Gary ONeal, and there's a small part of me that wants to tell the world that he is going to be Southampton's next coach, since they fired what's his name, Russell
Dalrymple. He's the head of NBC.
Oh, yes, exactly. Anyway,
Russell Martin.
Russell Martin got fired by Southampton. I'm semi-joking, but mostly serious, that I would not be surprised if Gary ONeal ends up at Southampton replacing Russell Martin. I had and will continue to have a great deal of respect for Gary ONeal. I do think he will catch on with someone else, and I do think he will be successful. As far as performance-wise, certainly unlucky to get the scheduling, the early scheduling of all the top teams. But when it came time to make up those points, the team seemed to not perform after the Fulham game. And as I mentioned last week and the week before, losing will beat you. Losing will beat you more than you can lose to whoever X amount. But if you compete and you're there, but those losses begin to weigh heavy on the shoulders of players. But I do think that Gary ONeal was fired because he could not get a handle on his players in a very disciplined manner. To have one occasion where there was a tussle and people being angry, at the other team because you lost, that's poor sportsmanship. But but to have it happen 2 matches in a row, that's a discipline issue, and that weighs on the manager and on the coaching team. And that just, to me, I didn't want him to go, but I understood when he did. I understood when I woke up and saw that he had been sacked. And it came to me. In fact, that match, the last match, I turned it off. I didn't watch the end. I didn't see the scuffle. I didn't see any. I turned it off. I was just the lack of defending by anybody, people in the wrong position. And Gary ONeal addressed it in his presser. He was like, I've got people that aren't wanting to be where they need to be. And I think that's also a case that because of how thin the squad is and how and also injury, you're forced to play players out of position. And I think that some players didn't like it and they acted out. We do have Pereira He was announced today. He will be on the sideline for Leicester. Cunha will not be suspended. But I do think that
how on earth?
Because the Premier League hasn't made their decision yet.
Because I sold him off my fantasy team because I was like, this dude doesn't even have a red flag on him. They're probably going to let him play somehow. Yet Declan Rice touches a football and he fucking red card. Oh my God.
Jesus. It was far worse.
Hold on. Yeah, go
far worse.
Lolo. Yeah.
Far worse.
It's not a red card.
Then all you Arsenal fans make it out to be like it was this innocent thing. First of all, he was already on a yellow. And he before he kicks the ball away, he looks over his shoulder.
You know why he looked over the shoulder? Because the dude kicked the ball at him and the ball hit him. So he looked and went, "What the fuck are you doing?"
You Arsenal fans can make all the excuses you want, but that's not what we're talking about. What we're talking about is the fact that Cunha's the suspension, and he will get suspended. He will get in. I'll tell you what he'll get suspended for. He'll get suspended for 5 matches. That's my prediction.
Why do they need a week? Were you guys playing midweek?
No, we weren't.
Were there league matches midweek?
No.
So what the fuck was the FAPGMOL fucking doing?
Okay, when you're finished with your alphabet, I'll let you know. That the reason being is that the appeal deadline was this morning for his appeal. So they have to review his appeal and then make their decision.
Did they give him a decision? Did they give him a decision?
They haven't.
So he can't appeal if there's no decision. He cannot appeal if there's no decision.
What was the decision?
Usually they say he's suspended for 2 games. Hold on, we're appealing it. Now we wait. But they haven't said anything. They haven't said anything. So how can he appeal a no decision?
I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it. So thank you, Lolo. And so my next grievance would be is that you want Cunha suspended immediately so that my team has a bigger chance of being relegated. Thank you so much. Where you guys can get multiple red cards and have players suspended and still hang in the top 4. Come on.
Yeah, Mark. I didn't say I want Cunha suspended. I said I want a decision. Make a fucking decision. Let me know.
No, you said how could he not be suspended?
Oh, well, yeah. I didn't say I want him to. I'm saying how could he not? I mean, that he fucking elbowed a manager in the back of the head and then stole the geezer's glasses.
I didn't.
Like, come on.
I didn't watch it, and to be honest, I bet you didn't watch it either.
I did.
No, you did not. You are not watching Wolves.
All the games were over. Wolves had like 18 minutes of stoppage time because there were 48 fights throughout the match. And so they all cut over to that. And I actually saw Cunha's goal and I'm like, yes, I got a fucking goal. And then the game ends and he starts attacking this old dude. This probably he's not even like a throw-in coach or something. He's probably just a ball boy. He elbows him in the back of the head.
You can paint any picture you want, and it is lost on me because I turned it off at the 53rd minute.
Mark, I am not painting a fucking picture.
But to me, you are because I didn't see it. Do you understand? You are painting. You are describing the events, and I have not seen it because I was so fed up. And the night before, during our show, you were hanging out with hammers. Getting hammered with the hammers. I was saying how disappointed I've been in my squad, how disappointed I was in those actions from the previous week. And that and I asked James, do I stick with this club? And he said, absolutely. I'm disgusted by my squad right now.
And Mark, they showed the incident over and over and over. I don't know how you didn't see it. How is it on my Twitter feed and not on yours?
I didn't see it. And that's the truth.
Speaking of which, a quick side note for all the Arsenal fans who are watching the show and for anybody else. What do you think about this? When I was drunk last Friday, hanging out at a holiday party with a bunch of hammers, I proposed to the West Ham fans at the table. I said, yo, straight swap. Give me Kudus. Y'all can have Martinelli.
That's not a straight swap.
Yeah, straight swap. Left side, left side.
No.
I mean, Kudus wants to play right side, but he better learn to play left or get a lot better.
Well, if he wants to play with Arsenal, he's going to have to play. But no, that's not
straight
fair.
Swap.
No,
Swap.
No, not at all.
Straight swap.
Got my Festivus poll.
All right. Where's BX? BX, get in there. Moss World as well. What do you think about that? Straight swap. Kudus, Martinelli. Rosie,
No.
Don't support Arsenal. Don't like anyone who does. Same Rosie. What's up, everybody? If we didn't say hi to you, it's because you all joined in while we were ranting and raving. But big up to everybody. Rosie, so good to see you in there. I think we saw Miss Melina as well. Russ Morgan, BX Gunner. Good to see all y'all in there. Who else was in there? Deborah the Zebra. Of course, the Wolves fan. Moss Sports World, Nick Fadley. Nick Fadley says he wants a North London Derby final. It's just too much risk there. Matt James in the house as well. Led Zepp, good to see you. Who else? Did I miss anybody who's in the comment? Get in the comment section. Let us know what you think. And if we don't know who you are, just let us know what team you support as well, unless it's clear, like John LUFC Garside. Very good to see you. Who else? Did I get everybody? I think I got everybody. Matt James, yep. Mo Master's there. Gary as well.
I was just going to say you missed Mo Master.
I did not. There we go.
Oh.
Mo Master with his terrible Real Madrid team. Oh my God, they're god awful. Them and City, they decide the same year to be shit, and somehow they'll both end up in the Champions League final, being absolute garbage of teams. And Barcelona will give the league away, and Real Madrid will win it again. There you go. Moss says Kudus can play anywhere. Marinelli probably valued higher, but yeah, I would rather have my man Kudus. Ghana, Ajax, always wanted him as well. I agree. And Martinelli, I'm sorry. I think to me, Martinelli, listen, I don't know if you guys have it over there, but, you know, in this holiday season, when I'm out buying a bunch of wine and beer and stuff like that to throw a little holiday party, I always get a couple of bottles of non-alcoholic Martinelli's apple or grape cider for the kids. It's great. It's non-alcoholic, but it comes in like a wine bottle. It's fizzy. It looks like champagne, and the kids get to drink that. Martinelli, the brand is Martinelli. And I was staring at a bottle of that today at the store, and I went, yeah, that's fucking Martinelli right there. That's fucking Martinelli right there. He looks it. He looks like a duck. He quacks like a duck. He runs fast as fuck like a fucking duck. But in the end, you can drink a whole bottle of it. You can drink 12 bottles of it, and you still got no buzz. You got nothing because it's all sugar.
I actually thought that you were going to comment saying that it's got the bubbles, it's got the bottle shape, but in the end, it ain't the real thing.
Oh wow, an old Pepsi ad, huh? No, Coke ad. There you go. I love that shirt, by the way. Is that like a Western shirt? Like a Western style?
Yeah. It's got
Wow.
the
Oh, I know.
The elf who wanted to be a dentist.
Yeah.
And then it's got Rudolph.
And Rudolph, yeah.
Yeah. Come from my favorite Christmas time cartoon. Or animation, claymation, or whatever, stop motion, whatever the hell it was. But
Yeah,
it was
that's like a
it
60-year-old
was-
cartoon.
It
80
was
year old cartoon.
basically the Santa's village was being terrorized by the abominable snowman,
The Bumble.
but the abominable.
Yeah, the Bumble.
And it was because he had a bad tooth. And Herby, the elf here, all he wanted to be was a dentist. He didn't want to make toys. He wanted to be a dentist. And he pulled that tooth out, and old Yeti got to be nice, and Herby was like, I'm a dentist.
Yep.
Sort of thing. And
really, Bumbles bounce.
That's right. That's right.
And is that the one where they go to the land of abandoned toys?
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah.
I believe
Wasn't
so.
it Orphan Toys? I think it was
The land of orphan toys. I thought it was abandoned toys.
I think it was abandoned toys as well.
I'll look.
I don't know. Because like we have a box in my house that is the box of abandoned socks. So every time we do laundry, and you always end up with like, oh, where the fuck?
Actually, it was the Island of Misfit.
Island of Misfit toys. Yeah. So I have the box of Misfit socks. So yeah.
We're a couple of misfits. That was the song.
We're
a couple of misfits.
John Garside, member for 10 months. Merry Christmas. Cheers, MOT. Much love, man. I can't tell you how much that means to us. Thank you so much. Yeah. I got a couple of triple Carmelite 8.4s. Award-winning Belgian triple malt. 4 dark what are you doing? Trying to kill yourself right now? How many of these?
He's trying to go to sleep. He's trying to go to sleep. As I'm sure wherever he is, Scooby-Doo 2 is in I'm sure in the London time zone.
Jimmy, 44 months. Oh.
I'll see your 10 months and raise you 34. God, man, I can't wait until at the end of the season when we've hit our 50th month.
44? That's like 4 years. That's nearly 4 years.
It's damn near, yeah. 4 months short of 4 years. We've been doing this 4 years.
Hold on, Anthony.
This is our 3rd annual Festivus?
Yeah, 3rd annual Festivus. Okay, so are we gonna? I wonder. Did Mr. Tom send in betting in the dark? But he's not gonna be here? Where is that clown?
I just texted him, but he didn't answer. I don't know.
Okay, he's very mad about Leeds United these days. So, I know
why they're doing well.
He did text me back. He said, "I will when Festivus starts. I have a list."
Oh, okay.
Oh, there he is.
Okay, well,
he is.
Oh, Mr. Tom is here. Okay, I was just wondering because I didn't want to start Festivus until everybody's here. But if I know Gary's going to be here, if I know Tom's going to be here in a little bit, we'll run this through until halftime, do the bio break, and then we'll come back with betting in the dark and Festivus. Unless you guys are ready to get into some airings of grievances, or Mark, we can do our airings of grievances if you want.
Hey, we can start airing those grievances, and we can also begin when our esteemed guests arrive. Here, our esteemed guests
Yeah, you got to go with our guest. It's a Festivus miracle.
Is there a compilation? What? Is that what I saw?
What was that compilation?
What was the best of compilations? A Festivus miracle? That would be a miracle that if somebody actually put together a montage, if you will, and I know I will, a montage of our Festivus grievances, the best of the grievances. That'd be pretty dope. Crickets.
Yeah. No, because I just hear that as Lolo, you should put together a fucking compilation. And I'm just thinking about all the work that's involved with that. When what we really need is like some 12-year-old who loves fucking social media to look through all of our stuff and do that, because they could probably do it from their phone. Where I'm like, okay, let me get the hard drives and let me get everything settled up here. All right.
So I think we've got Mr. Tom lurking in the shadows. And so with that, I think good evening or good morning, as the case might be, Mr. Tom. I love your Leeds United white lily jumper.
Hello, everyone. It's my
I
favourite
love it.
time of year. It's my
Very
favourite time
smart.
of year. The airing of grievances is my favourite thing to do.
That's fantastic.
And I have a list. And I'll probably add to this list as I'm airing the list. Anyway.
I want to see him lift that list up and it just like roll out like toilet paper.
It's interesting. I've done it on my phone. So basically, you can scroll the list. Like, you can actually scroll the list.
Right. We don't actually handwrite anything anymore.
That's another thing. Why do no one handwrite anything anymore? No, it's not true. It's because I'm lazy.
Well,
that's an obvious
answer. Now they have these devices that you can handwrite onto, and it will save what you wrote. It sounds like a piece of paper to me, but I don't know. It's stupid. I hate everything.
It's not in a coherent order. It will very much go backwards and forwards between things.
All right. Well, do we want to get started on this airing of grievances? Because we can do this, Mr. Tom. Well, let's go. Let's kick it off. Mark, you ready to go on this?
Absolutely.
I got a lot of problems with you people. Now you're going to hear about it.
Indeed. The On the Stoop presents the 4th annual Festivus for the Rest of Us Airing of Grievances. Festivus is brought to you by all of our wonderful sponsors, Cramerica Industries, business as usual since 1997. Also, the Human Fund, money for people. To celebrate the holiday season, we have made a donation on behalf of all of you to the Human Fund. All right, Vandalay Industries is another one of our big-time major donors, as well as Kruger's Industrial Smoothing. We don't care, and it shows. All right. Here's how we're going to do this, guys. The airing of grievances. If you want to be a part of the airing of grievances and you have something that aggrieves you, John just got kicked out somehow. John just got kicked out, and all of his stuff.
Everything has been kicked out.
All of his stuff. If you want to air some grievances, go ahead and click on this link that we're sending in the comments right now. You can pop on, but here are the things. You need to have your camera on, have your microphone on. Let's keep it under 2 minutes per grievance. Here, John's got this back up. And what else? Keep it under 2 minutes and tell us your Premier League grievances or anything else that's bothering you. And disclaimer, all participants are subject to the scrutiny of Director John. Don't piss him off. Indeed. All right. Let's get to this. I will go first, if you don't mind. Kick it off with just one good one. Here we go. John, whenever you're ready. He's like, wait, what do I have to do?
What am I supposed to do?
There you go. There you go. Bring me up here. Oh, nice. Lovely. Hey, no. There we go. All right. I got a lot of problems with you people, and now you're going to hear about it. I have a big problem that I've had this season, as well as many seasons, is that, and yes, it's gonna have to be with the PGMOL or whatever, the FA governing body and the officiating, where I don't understand why every season we have to come up with new rules that are going to change things around, yet we don't clarify what the rules are. We tell the referees to go out and implement it as best as they can. So they go out. The first 5 to 10 matches of the season are all fucking nonsense. Think about when VAR was introduced. Think about when the offside law was introduced. Think about the handball rule every season. Something happens early on in the season and they go, that is the new rule. That is what's going to happen. That is the thing. This season, it's the kicking away, the time wasting, the kicking away the ball, people hanging on the ball too long, people waiting too long with the throw in. We are going to yellow card that every single time. And what happens? Boom, let's make an example out of Arsenal. Out of the first team that does it, it happened to be Arsenal. Happened to be Declan Rice in a moment that ended up mattering a lot to us. But I feel like they say we need to implement this rule in a way that everybody takes note and we all notice it. But then as soon as they do that, they realize that the rule is flawed and that they hadn't figured it all out yet. So then the next time it happens, somebody else doesn't call it. Well, now what the fuck is the deal? I think every season, if you're going to implement a new rule, you need to go to a fucking 4-week training camp and have every single one of those referees all on the same page. So they're all refereeing matches exactly the same way. Because right now, it's a clusterfuck of people's just thoughts on a rule that they implement. And there's never any backlash on them for doing it right or wrong. And then there's makeup calls, and by the end of the season, that law doesn't exist anymore. Just watch. We'll be at week 35, 36. Someone will kick the ball away, and we're like, we can't give a red card on that. Liverpool may lose the title. Chelsea's title hopes will be over if we do that. And by the end of the season, kicking the ball away might not even be a problem anymore. So it might not even be a yellow card anymore. That's my problem. If you want to implement a new law, figure it out first of all, and then we can run through the season with it. That's my big grievance. Moving on.
Wow. I'm going to go next because my grievance is going to dovetail rather nicely with old Lolo. I got my Festivus poll, and I got to rest on it. Because this poll is going to stir up some shit. I got a lot of problem with you Arsenal fans, and you're going to hear about it. Why is it when every time, and y'all don't know this, but Lolo has left the stage, so I don't even know if he can hear me. Why is it that every single time that Arsenal loses,
I can hear you. Yes, I can hear you.
It is always because of a poor call by the referee. It's always because of a misguided yellow and a misguided red. Oh, that's why we lost. It's never on you. It's never on Arsenal. Arsenal didn't lose because Arsenal was poor that day. It's always because someone interfered. Somebody did this. Meanwhile, Arsenal can I think it was in a Champions League game this year where a pass went to like Gabriel or Kiwior or God knows who was back there, and they kick it back to Raya, and Raya picks it up. No call. Odegaard last year smacks the ball down like he's a basketball player. No call. But every single time Arsenal loses, it's always somebody else's fault. It's never on the team. It's never on the fact that maybe Arteta made a bad substitution. Maybe Arteta kept somebody in too long. Maybe it was because somebody was hurt. Maybe it was on us. Maybe we just had a poor day. No. It's always because of somebody. When Arsenal wins, it's different. Oh, man, he was superb. He was excellent. And there's no talk of maybe like the ref blowing a call here, there for either side. You know? That's my problem with Arsenal fans this season and in many seasons in the past. It's always someone else's fault when they lose. Take it away.
Oh, I heard all of that. Oh, Mark. Oh. Okay. This is the time for airing of grievances, and you aired that. All right, Tom, you're up.
He is right, by the way. That's what you all do. Well, let me look through the list for a football one, seeing as to dovetail with what you've done. Oh, Leeds United in advance for April. That's it. It's a future grievance. It's a future grievance based on a past grievance. That's it. Leeds United.
In April.
Yeah. That's usually when we stop deciding, we stop remembering how to play football in a coherent manner that will enable us to actually get points on the board. I'll save my 123, Mo Master. I don't want to waste all your fucking time. Just move on to the next one. Leeds United in April.
Well, Tom, you're the next one.
Oh, okay. Well,
Leeds United in March.
No, we're bad. We're not. We're historically bad, but not that bad. Right. Food portions getting smaller, but prices staying the same. Retailers, go fuck yourself. What we got here? Spotify Wrapped only recognising 11 months a year, despite telling you that it's a year-long review. Because how come nothing on anyone's Spotify Wrapped has anything about Christmas? You're being robbed, people. You're being fooled. Probably.
That's
I don't
true.
have Spotify, but it's what I'm guessing.
He's got a point.
Pedro Pascal being in fucking everything. Fuck off out of my sight, sir. What else we got? Speaking of movies never following through on promises, as people don't watch the movies because they know that they're not actually going to get what was promised to them in the first place. As in this Spider-Man Sony universe, where like, oh, if you watch it, you get loads of Spider-Man villains. You know what I fucking want to see? Spider-Man fight the villains. That'd be fucking nice. Other than that, what else we got? That it's not just Marvel. Like everyone fucking does that. Needless lines that end up wasting my time, as in work parties. Fucking work Christmas parties need to go fuck themselves too. Oh, here's another one. When someone is upset and they've told me they're upset, I will say, I'm sorry, to be polite. They will then go, oh, it's not your fault. I know it's not my fucking fault. I never fucking caused it. Why are you fucking wasting my time there by telling me that? I'm just being polite. Anyway, guys apologising for the misbehaviour of other men really gets on my tits. Don't fucking blame me for something I had nothing to fucking do just because you want to get in someone's pants. It's fine. It's fine. It's probably not going to work anyway because you've probably already sussed that you're a smelly fucker. But anyway, YouTube commenters. Sorry, let's move on. No, I'm just really annoyed with work parties. Yeah, mainly. I should probably calm down a bit.
Nah. Now's the time.
People that smell. You can stop that. Unless medically you can't, which I probably should apologise. But again, there you go. Nargi as well. The man, we have not seen that man since Leeds beat him, if I remember rightly. I mean, to be fair, if I was him, I wouldn't show my face if I lost to Jesse Marsh's football team. If I lost 3-0 to a team managed by Jesse Marsh, you'd never see me again. It's not meant to be a good thing. It probably will be, though. Anyway, I'm a very irritable person. I mean, not actually the Hulk though, because that won't work. But hello, Anthony. Exactly. Wearing dress shoes with joggies. People that have OnlyFans, but then tell me they work hard in life. No, you don't. You're living on easy mode. Is it getting more too far?
No, we're loving them.
Okay.
Are joggies like sweatpants?
Yes. Jogging bottoms.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. That is what my aunt does, Rosie. She'll go, "Oh, where you been today? Work?" Well, I'm gonna fucking say it because I'm fucking in my work uniform. Of course, I've been to fucking work. What do you think I'm fucking turning up out my day off, like dressed like I'm ready to go to work? Fuck's sake. Anyway, just Festivus. I have issues with Festivus. There should be 2 of them. Because holding this stuff in for 11 months and 50-something days, probably 63 days. Fucking maths. I've got a problem with maths as well. It's supposed to be my job and I was never fucking good at it. But for some reason, I am for work. But fucking maths should be banned as well. You should not have to do algebra unless you're going to be an algebra teacher. Go fuck yourself.
Oh,
keep
Tom,
this
you're the
going.
best.
Right.
You got any more?
And Tom, where can we vote for you?
You can vote for me on they're never going to let me. This will crop up on some sort of anti-campaign ad.
And then
Campaign ads.
There we go. We'll go there to vote. We all love Leeds.
Oh yeah. And don't forget, if anybody's in the comment section and you want to get on here and air your grievances, just click on that link and we'll get you on here, and you can get on there. Rosie says people that say Pacific instead of specific.
I'm from a specific ocean. Can you guess which one?
And people that say axe instead of ask. Here's a thing that bugs me on in New York. In New York, you don't stand in line. You don't stand in line. It's like, oh, do you have the tickets yet? No, I'm waiting in line. You're waiting online. In New York, you are online for, I'm online for pizza. I'm online for, it just bugs me to no end, but it is very much a New York thing. I don't know about you, John, how you feel about that, what you say, or what you guys say in the UK, but here it just drives me mad when people say I'm waiting online. When you're like, you're not online, you're standing outside, you're in the line. John, what do you feel about that?
I think it sucks.
I never thought of it.
Do you wait online or in line?
When I think of inline, I think of skates. I'm
And
online.
when I think online, I think of the internet.
I'm online. Well, I'm a little bit older than you, so growing up there was no online. The internet.
Yeah, growing up there were no inline skates either, John.
Yes, there were. They just weren't as popular.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not till the 90s when the internet came out.
I bought my first pair of inlines online.
I was online to buy my inlines. And then we're a queue here. They're a queue. And then you wait for the. And what's the difference in the UK between a trolley and a buggy?
A trolley is a truck, isn't it?
No,
a trolley.
No, that's
predominantly a trolley is something you use to put your shopping in when you're going around
shopping
the shopping
cart.
center. Yeah.
So we call that a shopping cart.
A truck is a lorry.
A lorry, that's what it was. Yeah.
The babies are in a buggy.
Yeah. No, the babies are in a pram.
They could be in both or either.
I mean, they could also be in a trolley if you ain't got no money.
I mean, if you're going shopping with a child, they will be in a trolley because you have to pull the thing out where you can seat the child in the trolley.
You take the seat out the buggy and you put it in the trolley.
Yep.
And then you wait online. People that don't wash their hands when they've used the toilet. Are you watching them? Like, how do you know? How do you know they didn't? Buggy
She's
is a
watching.
pram. Yeah, I know a buggy is a pram from Rubber Baby Buggy Bumpers. Rubber Baby Buggy Bumpers. All right, well, that was our first round of airing of grievances on this Festivus Day. Public toilets. I get you. You see them. You see them walking in and out. Ugh. Que asco. So that was our first round of airing of grievances. We will be back with more, and we will be back with Betting in the Dark with Mr. Tom. But right now we are at the halfway point where we're going to take a quick bio break. And John has something special for us, I think, that we're going to watch. So we'll be back in just a few minutes. So if you all want to run to the non-public restrooms, Rosie, yeah, we'll be right back with Betting in the Dark with Mr. Tom.
You're muted.
What was that?
That was just a film that she made. My friend Valentina made when she was in film school. And that has to be about at least 10 years ago, because the little kid is her son, who's now 22.
Oh, geez.
So, I mean, how long ago was that?
Wow.
I don't know. It was something nice for Christmas. I figured
something nice for Christmas. There you go.
It is nice, but I thought it was going to turn out the little boy came out of the door and he was going to be Nargy. That's what I thought was going to actually happen.
he was going to be a what?
I thought it was going to be Nargy coming out of the door. That's why I kind of feel ripped off by it, because I'm like, you set up this story, so I'm like, that's going to turn into someone that I know, and it's just.
I'll bring it up to her the next time I talk to her.
Just.
Can you add Najee in there?
Yeah, tell her my name is Mark. My name is Mark.
So now we're back for the second half of the show. I just would it bother you guys if we watch the trailer for Murder Gun?
Yes.
Tom?
No. Let's watch. Oh, that was so amazing. Let's watch it.
Tom, I want to.
Yeah, go ahead. Watch it.
Reaction. I want to see your reaction, Tom, to Murder Gun, because making this, the whole time I'm doing it, I'm cutting it up and I'm just thinking, what would Tom think? What would Tom think? So this whole thing was made for you, Tom, essentially. I mean, for me and for you, because you and I are the craziest about this silly shit. So if you don't know, we contacted Nick Nolte and Gary Busey, and we told them that they needed to get together and make a film, buddy flick, and possibly get somebody cool to be the villain. So let's go ahead and see this trailer for Murder Gun.
Murderers, robbers, rapists, dealers, pedophiles.
Welcome to the revolution!
Justice isn't commerce.
Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Just stop it!
Who the hell is without a helper, and what does she have to do with my sister?
Do I look like I need a psychological evaluation?
That's not the issue. The issue is why you didn't tell me.
I recommend that he be given a psychological evaluation before taking over his next assignment.
Just like old Tom's, huh?
You goddamn son of a bitch!
Look me in the eyes. May I have a little kiss before you go? I'm very lonely here.
Oh, we're being lied to. I don't like secrets. I could report you to the authorities, have your goddamn license suspended.
Smoking cigars now. And I thought he was perfect.
Would you give your life to save the world if nobody knew you did it?
Boy, you're a cocky one.
You got a great point there. And a sign that says, "No snakes allowed."
We're past all that. No more games.
Not allowed. The reason I'm still alive is because I wear an invisible helmet. You can't see it, but it's always there.
Oh, I can't wait till that comes out. Oh, it's going to be so good.
It's going to be quite the movie.
Oh, it's
Van
Damme shows up.
The sequel has Claude Van Damme and Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Absolutely.
Arnie ain't going to be in that. Arnie, this is far too above Arnie's station, because this is going to make about $20 at the box office, because I'm going to see it twice.
20 million? You'll see it 10 million times at the $2 theater, like it was 1976 and Star Wars.
All I'm thinking now,
really the only one alive. Me and John.
I'm wondering. All I'm going to say, I'm wondering. In all seriousness, like I appreciate Boosie, I appreciate Noe, but I'm sat here and basically thinking, why didn't we ever get a movie starring Steven Seagal and Sinbad?
Ooh.
Sinbad.
That's a pretty good buddy flick, too.
It would be the best buddy flick, because in reality, we'd all sit there knowing that Sinbad would probably whoop this man's ass. But he's just, because he's a nice guy, Sinbad, he's basically just going to make all his jokes while allowing Steven Seagal to actually do all the work.
Okay, I'll get working on it, Tom.
So I couldn't help myself. I'm watching it. I'm sitting there like when he starts elbowing the thing and then he like palms it. I'm sitting there going like, you fucking hit that dummy and all that, and then no snakes allowed.
No
whatever.
snakes allowed.
Sorry to anyone.
I'm alive because I got an invisible helmet.
And do you love the sound effects?
Actually, I like the early 80s kind of outro where Seagal's at the typewriter, because that was a thing. There was a thing in like pop shows done by some production company where they were like working and then they grab it and
they'd throw it
in the air. Kind of.
That was that. I saw that clip of Steven Seagal typing, and I was like, "Oh yeah, we're putting this at the end." Like he's typing, and you're like, none of those are words that he's typing. 100%, none of those are words.
He's just hitting the R button over and over again.
Are we done?
I can't help myself.
Do we got it?
In a film or something like this, one of my actual biggest pet peeves in a film, and it happens more than you think it does, when someone would actually go to hand over their phone number. Like, for example, in the film 8mm, starring Nicolas Cage, when he gives his phone number to Joaquin Phoenix as part of the investigation, he literally, what he actually does is he flicks, it's as if he's writing down a phone number. It's not even because he's staying at a hotel or something, but he's writing down like his room extension, whatever it is. But it takes him like 1 second. I'm like, you can't write down a full phone number in 1 second.
Here's the number to my cousin, Sophia.
And I know that won't mean anything to anyone, and it's just a irrational pet peeve of mine, but I am right. At least if you're going to type or write something, at least actually type or write the thing you're supposed to be writing, so it can actually mirror the effect of if I'm actually writing it and the time it would take to do it. Just stop fucking up, like, because then if I'm thinking about that, I'm not actually thinking about the film.
Yeah,
which
but
means
it's
you're
movie
doing your
tricks.
job badly.
You don't want a 10-second scene of him going 17. Fuck.
Yeah, I do if he's actually writing it.
Where's the plus on here? Where how do I get plus? We're plus?
My number is
4? No, plus 4. 4. Why?
62 ampersand Batman
You're a big
symbol
country.
_4.
First of all, if the US is +1, how is England plus 44? Like, what are the other 43 countries that, like, who's +2? We don't even fucking know. Who's second place? Canada? Guam is second place?
I'm still right. Just, if it takes you 8 seconds to write down your phone number, just write the numbers down and then hand it over. Just hand it over. Just... I'm actually fine if your movie goes 91 minutes and 42 seconds instead of 90 minutes and 38 seconds, whatever. I ain't done the maths on it, as clearly shown by earlier. But I'm not refusing to do maths unless I'm at work. But don't expect me to do my job on my day off. And I'm about to say that knowing, here we go, with the betting thing where I'm doing my job on my day off. But anyway,
all right, well, let's do it, Tom. Let's get to betting in the dark.
Betting in the dark with Mr. Tom.
Come on, love, place your bets.
Hey, everyone. Derek 2's here.
Derek 2.
Derek 2.
All right.
It's Derek 2
Good
time.
to see you, Derek 2. And Tom the elf looks like he just woke up.
I'd hate to think what happened to Derek. That there's a Derek 2.
We never met Derek.
Derek 1 is old age in terms of penguins. Very old age. Very old age.
See,
all right,
it's the same thing.
We are getting into betting in the dark with Mr. Tom. Just remember, these bets we asked Tom to make, crazy bets that probably will not happen, but if they do, they will make you tons of money. That's why they won't happen. So take all these with a grain of salt and don't waste your dollar if you don't have it to waste, because it is a waste unless it hits. But they won't hit. I'm just telling you. So, Mr. Tom, tell us how we can become an 800 Air this week. Oh,
sponsored by Murder Gun.
Murder Gun needs its own sponsors.
Greatest film involving murder and a gun.
And a gun.
And a gun. We are starting off at Villa Park, where, cut a long story short.
Oh, I love this, Tom. This looks amazing. I love everything about this one.
Yeah.
Disappointing.
This is good.
Yeah, going just for the record. Obviously, I don't think Villa are particularly doing well at the moment. I don't think they're particularly handling the rigor of the Champions League and Premier League football, but they're not doing it really badly. But that also being said, Manchester City are not exactly pulling up trees at the moment either. In fact, they're pulling up a lot of trees that are trees that basically say, you're fucking going to lose this one, mate. And then they go and lose it or whatever. But, no, in all seriousness, I think Haaland's due a game where, like, he just decimates the net. But Villa and John Duran is also, as we said last week, is a footballer who very rarely in the Premier League is not afraid to have a shot from 30 yards, which is very rare in the Premier League.
He did it in the Champions League too.
Yeah.
He did in the Champions League this week, didn't he? Last week? Yeah,
he scored in one of the games that I picked him scoring. And I was quite pleased.
Pink Cushion, new member. Thank you so much, Pink.
That's a fallacy. The Pink Cushion is not a new
Rosie,
member.
2 new members. There you go. So glad we played Kick the Keeper to start us off because we'll be demonetized. No, it was just it wasn't the video. It was just the audio. We're fine. Thank you so much, Rosie, for joining up. We really love that. Maybe I'll be able to buy Director John a beer if he comes over tomorrow. Oh, you know what, John? Now I can afford to give you back your pots from Thanksgiving.
And coolers.
Nope, we haven't made enough for that. It's still mine. This one. Oh shit. Oh, there's a beer in here. Oh, it's hot. Don't drink that one. Ooh.
He loves cold women. He loves
I give out
hot
free mince
beer.
I give out free mince pies if you can find them. Yeah. Anyway, all right. I love this. I love everything about this, Mr. Tom. I like that you don't have a first goal scorer, a last goal scorer. You don't know how this craziness is going to happen. But yeah, I think Erling Haaland is due. Aston Villa is a team that he's likely to score on. John Duran will come on halfway through, probably score the equalizer.
I'd never pick him to score first.
I think John Duran starts.
He has cropped up.
I don't think he comes off the
these.
bench. He starts.
I think he's their Trossard in that he'll come off the bench and score a goal. To then you start him the next game, but then he doesn't score, and then he ends up on the bench again in this recurring cycle of do we start or bench this man? And it's the same with Trossard. But he'll score, and then they'll have the discourse of, do we need to start this player? And it's like, yeah, they do. And then he ends up being taken off after doing nothing. That's him.
I hear you. I feel you. Yep.
I think this could actually win.
Yeah, I think this is a good one.
I think this is a winner through and through.
Don't blame me, though, when I wake up tomorrow morning, because Leeds ain't in the early kickoff, so I'm not waking up to watch this. And Villa are 3-0 up at half-time or whatever.
This is seriously like the 7:30 match. 7:30
Yeah,
Eastern
this is the first
time.
one. 7:30 a.m.
Yeah.
I promise to go shopping with the missus.
Oof. I
It's
have
actually quite
lots of
nice,
cookies to make tomorrow.
Not having to get up early for Leeds.
All right, let's see that next one. Oh, I'm not watching this.
Oi, sit down, Lolo. You're the host of the show.
Arsenal cost me £31 in midweek because every other aspect of the bet I picked won, apart from Arsenal to win without letting in a goal against Crystal Palace.
Right.
That died within 3 minutes of the kickoff.
But you should have seen the back line that Arsenal chose. Of course we were going to give up a goal.
Meh. That's not my fault. That's Arsenal's fault. They let me down, and I'm going to hold it against them forever. Probably not forever, but I've held things against people for less. I thought that was maybe a punchline. There was no punchline. This sounds like I found. But no, in all seriousness, Saka's going to score first. Mateta's then going to go. Oh, you know what? I am an employed as a footballer, and I'm not supposed to score in the, in the Carabao Cup or whatever. But Crystal Palace are going to take revenge on you on my behalf. I've told them to do it.
Now, Tom, I'm going to give you a little bit of love here. It is, and you will know better. But when you play a team twice in a week, when you play midweek in a cup match, whatever it is, a replay, whatever, and then you have to play them on the weekend, those results are not necessarily, just because Arsenal won midweek does not necessarily mean we're going to go through and dominate Palace and win again. So a loss at Palace is not off the tables. It's not out of the cards here. So
this
very interesting.
All the time.
It happens all the time, is what you're saying. And Saka to score first. You know what? I'm gonna put 27 cents on this because I'm down to like no money in my account because I put them on your bets. And the payout is fucking tremendous. So a 27-cent bet will probably make me $100. So, it'll make me over $100. So yeah, fuck it. If it happens, I will be very angry, but I will have made $100. So,
in all seriousness, because I've sat on here after Leeds United have lost at West Ham in the FA Cup, and then literally on Sunday, and then the next Sunday, Leeds won at West Ham in the Premier League. I mean, ultimately, we're in the Championship, so really it counted for nothing. But still, it's something that does happen because we have first-hand experience of knowing it happens, and it may even happen in the literal, like, overturning way of Crystal Palace winning by the scoreline that they lost. I mean, I wasn't going to put Jesus to score in this because expecting him to score 4 goals in 2 games is...
But what about Eddie?
Oh, nah.
Eddie,
he's not even starting
or
the game.
Nketiah.
Oh, he's going to start in the game.
He didn't start in the game in midweek either, and he still scored.
But isn't he on loan?
No.
No,
Oh, okay. I thought he was on loan. I thought that's why he didn't play on Wednesday.
No, he did play. He came on in the end, and he scored a goal, a great goal.
Yeah, I didn't watch.
But it made it 3-2, which that's what he's saying. Reverse the scores.
It was Eddie, so it obviously was a great goal, but
yeah. I mean, he only.
I nearly fell out of my chair when I saw he'd scored against Arsenal. But then you were losing, so.
Rosie stuck a $5 on this. I was
Can you just send that money to the Stoop?
No, I was feeling blessed that she signed up, and then realized that she's throwing $5 at this fucking bet.
Yeah,
she only threw $2.99 on us. Fuck,
throw it to us so we can give John back his cooler.
No,
don't throw it to us. YouTube takes.
Hope she's joking.
No, a $5 if it hits, she's $1,000 there.
Oh, if that hits, Christmas is paid for. Obviously paid for.
Well, I don't know how much your Christmas costs, but you are absolutely right, Rosie. You have a way bigger upside on that $5 bet. It's only time. Time will tell what your membership
Do you not know
gets
that these Christmas shirts cost money. The Christmas hats cost money. Derek II costs money. Not to mention the graphics. And Murderball, the production on Murderball was just through the roof. Not Murderball, Murder Gun. I said Murderball. That is a whole different movie and probably much better.
Murderball.
You've not seen Murderball? So Murderball,
like Beelzeball.
No, Murderball is a documentary about a very rough and tumbling a handicap a sports match or a sports league. I think it's kind of like field hockey.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, what?
I never saw it, but I just know the name of it. Sorry.
Honestly, to be honest, Mark,
Rollerball Scooby-Doo 2. Well, you stopped listening to me 44 months ago.
What was that?
I said you stopped listening to me about
what was
44 months ago.
Yeah, that was the joke, Mark. What?
Someone tell him that his a joke does not trump mine. God damn it.
By the way, we're going to Dram Shop tonight. You got your dress on. I see you. You look very pretty. Just put some heels on. Let's go.
It takes me an hour to get to Dram Shop.
I'll pick you up in the car. I'm only somewhat drunk. I'll be there in 4 hours.
After I go to Dram.
Yeah, I'll be honking outside. Anyway, all right, let's see the next one, Tom.
It's Sunday. It's 4:30 in the UK.
Wait, they play each other?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
They just got drawn with each other? Oh, I didn't even know that. Fucking hell.
Yeah.
At Tottenham? Nah, Tottenham win this. Just watch. Just watch.
Well, you think Salah's not going to have a field day with their defense on the halfway line?
Nope. I mean, yes.
Like, this is Mo Salah of like 5 years ago. He's turned back the clock.
That's what I was trying to remember, Pincushion.
Oh, I don't know about this. 3 goals against. I mean, Allison has been a little sketchy since he came back.
Last week, I can't remember if it was last week or the week before, but I was very close to getting the high scoring correct score because Son scored at the end of the game and it fucked it up for me. It was Tottenham game, obviously. I said it was going to be 4-2 to Chelsea and it ended up being 4-3 to Chelsea in the 96th minute.
Yeah, and
that's the time slot where defences do not turn up on Sunday afternoons in the Premier League.
And this is at Tottenham, so it's going to be a crazy shit show. Okay, all right. I'm surprised you didn't go with Tottenham to win this, though. It would have paid better, but this is still a great payout.
I estimate it would have gone up to about £400 if you pick Tottenham to win 4-3, but it's still picking Tottenham to win, which is always iffy.
Yeah, I can't do that.
The thing that gets me with Tottenham is that how much longer can they go on with beating the Big Six in matches and then losing to the Bournemouths and that of the world without eventually it turning into just losing to the Big Six?
Yeah, because they do have a good record against the Big Six, but
that's why they're mid-table, because they have a great record against the Big Six, but a shit record against everyone else.
I think Tottenham have like the best goal differential, don't they? Like, John, do you have the table? No,
It's
not
not
the
bad.
best, but they're 17. They have the most goals besides Chelsea. And
It's
they're
not the
10th
goal
in the
difference
table.
you'd expect from a team at sat in 10th.
Yeah, I mean,
especially when you see the teams around them.
The team at 9th has a 1, and the team at 11th has a 2, and they have a 17. That's insane. That is absolutely insane.
I do think Chelsea are going to win the Premier League. I know it's easy to say that now, but it's always been lingering to me that because of how it's actually playing out now. Look at the start of the season. I think it might turn out that I picked them to do rather well in the top 4 thing. But can't remember where I actually had them, but it was either a first or second or something like that. But I think with Chelsea, because they're not playing in Europe, and someone's going to go, they are playing in Europe. But what I mean is Cole Palmer isn't playing in Europe. Cole Palmer's playing 1 football match a week. And all the top Chelsea players are playing 1 match a week, while the other Chelsea players are playing against Shamrock Rovers on a Thursday night. Well, it's a lovely problem to have.
Yeah, that has always been the scariest thing for me with Chelsea is we laugh at their squad size, we laugh at the amount of money they've spent, but somehow it's all legal. The scary thing is whenever somebody figures out how to run that team, they will have multiple good teams. So Cole Palmer shouldn't need to play midweek until you get to the knockout stages, to the semifinals.
They've not registered him for the Conference League, so he can't, even if.
He's not even registered.
Yeah, no, they've made a point of he will not play the European football this season.
Wow.
I'm just having a look at what odds they are. Yeah, for example, right, they are so overpowered in the Conference League, even with their B squad being registered. They are currently the 4 to 6 favourites to win the entire tournament. 4 to 6. As in, you put £6 and you'll get back £10, including the £6 you put on it. So you don't double your money.
2/3.
Second favourites is Fiorentina, 5 to 1. Like, that's how in front Chelsea are perceived to be in this.
Well, all right.
It's a lovely problem to have, and it's why they're saying second, despite impressing no one. Because winning in Tottenham doesn't impress me. Like, you're playing Tottenham, lads. Like, you should win there. You should score 4 goals at Tottenham, especially when everyone knows they've got no defenders. And the defenders they do have are told to not defend. Told to stand on the halfway line. But still. I don't care either way. It's just... I only care.
All right, you got the accumulator here, the Magic 3. We got a draw, Villa City, Palace to win, and Liverpool to win. That only gets you 35?
It's because Liverpool are big favourites.
Yeah.
Not off the top of my head, at the time I made this, Liverpool was 7 to 10. So to get £17, you had to pay a tenner.
Yeah.
So
I agree with Mo Master here. I agree with you, Mo. I don't think Chelsea wins the league. Matter of fact, if they do, I will let Najee be back on the show.
Like you have any control.
Yeah, there's a shadow ban on him.
Everyone would love to see Najee on the show.
I don't think so. I don't think that's true.
Mr. Tom, would you love to see Najee back on the show?
I would nothing against him personally, but I would immediately have a list of questions. I'd say, where the fuck you been for 3 years?
All I ask though is, would you like to see Najee back on the show?
I think it's become a stage of he's going to turn up at some point.
I would love to see Najee on the show. And so that's an indifferent vote and an affirmative. You'll let him.
All right, Mark, if Chelsea win the Premier League, will you send Rosie that shirt?
Sure. You pay shipping.
Yeah, the shipping is like $800.
I'll take it with
me. I'll take it with me when I go in September.
Right. Well, if maybe I go with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Giddy up.
You can giddy up. Let's fucking do it. All right. Well, that was Betting in the Dark with Mr. Tom. Thank you so much, Tom, for that. All right, fellas, what are we talking about the rest of the show?
I thought Gary was going to come on and give us a Festivus list.
Do we have any more grievances? People in the chat, you have the link. You can come on the show. Air your grievances with us, please. Come on. No? None of you?
I'll happily sit and listen to people's grievances because I'll probably agree with them all. Because I think
well, I'm gonna air one more grievance.
All right.
And I alluded to it at the beginning.
Better have nothing to do with Arsenal.
I alluded to it at the beginning of the show. I got a lot of problems with you, Wolverhampton, and you're gonna hear it from me. Wolves. When I first came on the show, it was our very, very first show. I knew fuck all about the Premier League. I didn't know Man City to Norwich to Brighton to Liverpool to anyone. I knew fuck all. But I knew a little bit. Just a little bit. And as we sat there, Lolo, Anisha, and myself, looking at our devices and trying to pick a team for myself, I chose you. And maybe that's the problem, is that Wolves didn't choose me, as James is put out there. A club chooses you. But maybe in a way it did. Wolves, you were definitely a top 10 squad. You went fairly far in one of the cups. I think it was the FA Cup. You went to the semifinal. You were in Europe. Maybe that was a little too much, too fast. But you've managed to stay up over the past 4 years. But it's been so hard to support you to see all these managers of quality, not you, Bruno Lage, but managers of quality, Nuno Espirito Santos, who is leading Nottingham Forest to a fairly decent season, to Julian Lopetegui, who is doing, I don't know what he's doing for West Ham, but he's doing it. Certainly better than us. And Gary ONeal. What has been the issue with these managers is that, as Bandy would say, you don't spend the money. You didn't spend the money. And all of those managers that I mentioned, not you, Bruno Lage, but all those managers that I mentioned, their complaint is that you are selling off our players and you're not buying anyone. Why is that? Why is that? Why is it that you can sell these, countless players? Could you imagine our lineup if we had kept everyone? Could you imagine, could you just imagine Jota as our striker and Neto as our winger? And I guess I do have to put in there that they have to be healthy. But you don't not spend in this league. Wolves are 19th 3 years in a row out of 20 in spending. But they're bringing on, they're selling and selling and selling. And this season you sold and you didn't replace. Who sells your starting center back captain and not replace them? Who sells your starting winger and not replace them? My grievance is that I am tired of watching my squad, a team that I will stand by, despite knowing nothing about them when I first enlisted in that barmy army. My grievance is, why are you so poorly running this club? Why is it that you have no aspirations for anything other than to make money? Why? Why? God, why? There, that's my grievance.
All right. That's good, Mark. Don't cry. Don't cry. It's okay.
Don't cry. It's good. It's good. It's
now, John just put up this Rangers thing, and I was hanging out with a Rangers fan the other night, who some of y'all know, Mike Lapp. So, Tom, do you know about this in this other league, hockey league? So Mike was telling me, he was like, we won the President's Cup. And I was like, oh, that's a tournament? And he's like, no, that's best team of the season. So the team with the most points gets voted, or they get the best team President's Cup. You win that best cup. But then you go to playoffs. So do you think Premier League clubs, and do you think we could do with a end of the season sort of let's play a tournament?
It's called the Charity Shield.
No.
There is a team. A team goes. Hear me out. A team goes to the Community Shield. When they play that, a team who did not win anything goes and plays. Why not have some? We already have something like that.
Mark, that's not the same thing. So that's saying Man City finishes top of the table, yet at the end of the season, the top 4 teams do a playoff, and whoever wins that is the champion. So you may win the season points wise, but you lost in the playoffs and you didn't win the Stanley Cup.
Who plays in the Community Shield?
The winner of the FA Cup and the winner of the league. And if they're the same team, then it goes to like second place in the league or something like that. But you've won something.
Wasn't that the case with Arsenal when they beat City? They were just kind of like fell into it.
City won both. City won the FA Cup. I believe City won. I think it's the FA Cup and the league.
It sounds like the Premier League already has a Presidential Cup.
No, but that doesn't mean anything. So my friend, as I'm saying, my friend, the Rangers fan, is saying we were the best team in the league. We were the best team in the league. We won the best team. We had the best record. We were the best team in the league. Did you win the Stanley Cup? No, we didn't win the Stanley Cup.
You won the Community Shield. Did you win anything else? No, you didn't. This is me being contrary. This is why he has me on. This is why I'm on
but Mark, you're not. So that would have been City who won. It would be more like you won nothing, but you won the Community Shield. That trophy doesn't matter because you didn't fucking win anything. As opposed to you win best team of the season because you had the best record, you had the best points total. But the highest thing is the Stanley Cup, like the winner of the Stanley Cup, right? So just because you won the season, you didn't win the playoffs. Your season doesn't matter as much because, you were better throughout the season, but you didn't win this playoff. It's a weird thing. I don't think the Community Shield is anywhere near being.
It's not the same. For the start, that is meant to be the opening showpiece of the following season, which is why it's different. Just
and it's different
on why it's different.
I see the Community Shield or the Charity Cup, as it used to be called, or the Charity Shield. I see it as the equivalent of like the NFL Hall of Fame Bowl.
Exactly. So how are you saying? How are you saying it's the same thing?
It should in no way determine who the best team is.
Exactly. So how are you saying it's the same thing, Mark?
It shouldn't even exist.
It's not the same thing at all.
The real reason it doesn't carry the same cachet is because obviously you can make trades and transfers in between the title being won and the Charity Community Shield happening. There is a significant amount of time between the two contests. So you're going to then get a team that is completely different because Man City will buy players or whatever. But generally speaking, you can't buy players from the end of the season in the NHL, the regular season, to when the playoffs occur, is my understanding. Like, it's still the same team. We'll be playing each other.
Yeah. Because it happens immediately after. It's the
Well, I knew of what question you were getting at purely because Lionel Messi apparently his team won the Supporters Shield or whatever they call it, and then immediately got knocked out in the playoffs.
Yeah, they were the top team and they lost to the bottom team. That's this whole thing with the new Champions League format where everybody's like, "Oh, Liverpool's going to win the Champions League. And I'm like, you realize that none of this really matters until the knockout. Like, you just have to get through. You just have to get through. That's all you got to do. And then it's a one-off game. Or home and away, but it's a one-off set of games where the top team is playing the bottom team, but all of the teams are Champions League teams. So the top team playing the bottom team right now, City could be the bottom team the way they're playing, and Liverpool could end up playing City. They win out and they end up first in those rounds. They could end up playing City or Real Madrid, like with these teams, PSG and Man City are not anywhere near guaranteed to go through right now.
I'll be shocked.
PSG is definitely not going through.
But they may get to the knockout. They may get to the playoff, and which gets them into the knockout round. And then they would be one of the lowest seeds. And then they would play a Liverpool, an Arsenal, these teams who are going to be top, but these other teams who were shitty but made it through somehow. Now all of a sudden, that's just where I'm saying it doesn't matter where you finish in that tournament style before the knockouts, because in the end you got to play 2 games against a Champions League team and anything can happen. So just saying, don't say it's Liverpool's Champions League. As long as City and Real Madrid are in it, and PSG and the likes of all these teams, Inter Milan, AC Milan, Dortmund, even Leverkusen, Munich, all of these teams, like it's insane. Yes, of course you want to do best, and you do want to. I'm not trying to downplay that Liverpool aren't doing well. I'm just saying, in the end, once we get to the knockout, it's anybody's game.
Real Madrid are going to win it.
Yeah, clearly.
They are going to win it because ultimately this new format has basically, although it's created more games and more jeopardy, it's actually made it easier for a team to actually not do as well and still get through
and
to
still
knockouts.
win it. Yeah.
Sorry, go on.
No, I'm just thinking the winner of the Champions League will not be whoever finishes first in this first phase of play.
The only advantage you get from being in the top 8 is that you play 2 less games than teams that don't.
Right. And but so that was something that I was going to ask, was that there's like kind of like pre-qualifiers for the knockout round, right? So if you finish in the top 8, you have the bye weeks or whatever, and then 9 through 16 battle it out.
Oh no, it's 9 through 24. No. It goes further than that. It's 9 to 24. So no, but the way it works out is 9 will play 24 and 10 will play 23, and it work. The draw's already done based on where you finish.
Right,
similar to actually a playoff seeding, I suppose. But obviously, it's gonna I'm not a mathematician, despite being my job, so I'm not going to sit and work out. But it generally is going to end up 9 versus 24, 10 versus 23, 11 versus 22 kind of thing. But basically, what you're going to end up getting is Real Madrid are probably, even if Real Madrid, they're probably going to be a bit higher because they've got 2 games left, whatever. Real Madrid are going to end up playing against a team that probably overperformed a bit in this group stage, that they will be significantly better than, and they'll beat them. And then they'll end up in that last 16 like they've not actually lost that many games, even though they have. Or however it works out. I just think the jeopardy for the bigger teams it's actually made it easier for them to do well.
This is just where I'm saying, yes, a 38-game season. That is a very, very good way to judge who is the best team. Who is the best team for the longest? We all played the same teams. We played them home. We played them away. Best record out of those is the best team in the league. Yes. But you play teams at different times throughout the year. You play teams with red cards and suspensions and accumulations. You play teams midweek because you missed again. So there's all this where I kind of like last year. Fine, give City the title. They won the title. They did it. They did that. I would have loved to see, and now just a quick little 4-team mini tournament to see out of these 4 teams who are so good. Let's see who wins in a fucking tournament. Let's do a quick sort of like let's see who the best is. And like that's where the Giants won the fucking Super Bowl when they were 8-8. They lost half of their games, and they won the Super Bowl against a team that lost 1 game. They lost the Super Bowl
to them.
And you know what? In the end, it's like, yeah, that team was fucking incredible. But when they played this team, they lost.
How insufferable would the NFL and sport be if they had actually won 18 games?
Oh my God! It's almost as insufferable if Arsenal wins the league.
Yeah,
I'll get sick.
At least my phone is going to be insufferable.
Mark, if I was not an Arsenal fan, I would celebrate the first loss of Arsenal every year like fucking Christmas Day. Just like the fact that you are not going to go invincible again. Like, because if Arsenal went invincible again, it would be the most we're insufferable as it is, and I know this as an Arsenal fan. See, I can see it.
And now you're bringing up just another grievance that I have is that you Arsenal fans are always like, "Oh, we were the Invincibles. We were Invincibles." You weren't the first. Preston End, they were the first. They went.
Preston
North End, Preston Northman. Maybe that was 100 million years ago, but they were still the first.
Hey,
and yet Arsenal is like, we're the first. Let's make a movie about it.
All right. Is their trophy gold?
I'm not saying I don't want Arsenal to be the only Premier League.
It's so old. It's probably made out of clay.
Yeah. Well, good. It's not gold.
I'm not saying I want Arsenal to no longer be the only Premier League Invincibles, but I do want the discourse of Arsenal fans thinking there might be someone else that goes undefeated. Because that'd be fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it was Leverkusen. They're the last invincible. Or did they end up losing in like one of the cup matches?
They lost the final to Atalanta.
But that was like a German cup.
No. That was the Europa League. But it doesn't matter. In their league, they were invincible.
They were
correct. They are the latest invincible.
I would argue that their invincibles was a lot more impressive than Arsenal.
Mark, I feel like you know enough British people to know that if it's not the Premier League, it doesn't fucking count.
There is a book out on how the Premier League got to be the biggest league in the world, and I kind of want to read it because I kind of want to poke holes in it. You know, is it really the biggest league in the world?
I'll tell you what.
Well, I was going to say, yeah.
Well, it's going to say Chelsea fielded the first 11 team of 11 players that were not English. All of them were from abroad. That was the start of it, because then that was the influx of the foreign players and the ownerships that could then fund the foreign players, and that increased the standard league, because there was a time where all those players would have gone to Italy for the money in Italy. But then the money went elsewhere because of TV deals and things like that. But it's very nuanced, but that's generally what you're going to find in that book. Is
I thought you were going to.
Oh, go on, Lolo. Sorry.
No. You sounded like you had something intelligent to say. It was shocking.
Thank you. My understanding of it all, the point of them creating the Premier League was because in the 80s, football was nearly going to get banned by the government. And I know people could say that's not true. There was an element of the crowd trouble in towns, in society, that they were actually going to ban football. And people weren't going to the football because the only people that went to the football were people looking for fights at football. That genuinely was the culture at the time. And they thought if they do a rebrand and made the football better to watch by putting more money into the football, by getting Sky Television to pay to broadcast some of the games, it would then force the clubs to actually spend more money on the football, the players. We spend money on football, obviously the players. A very big percentage of money that any football team makes goes to players and agents. Very, very little of it actually stays within the club, and it's
so they were right then.
Oh, they're 100% right. It's state football in England. It created this thing where they tried to originally they tried to Americanize the Premier League very immediately. Like they actually tried cheerleaders on Monday Night Football and things like that, and no one really took to it. They had someone parachute in on one of the games, like from above, and try and land on the halfway line. And what actually happened was everyone booed it because, of course, they did. It's England.
Yeah,
it didn't last very long, but I mean, it would probably take off more now if they tried it now than it would back then. But. So what was you going to say, Lolo? Sounds like it's going to be...
I was going to say that I thought Mark said he read a book that explained it all very well.
No, I said I want to read a book.
Yeah, you want to.
Like, I haven't read it yet. I saw it at the bookstore today. And it was like something like, I think it was titled The Biggest League in the World, How Premier League Took Over World Football or something like that.
So they explained it all, but they put it in a book knowing that British people wouldn't read it because they can't.
They wrote it certainly knowing that I wouldn't understand it.
Yeah.
I still am trying to get my way through Football for Dummies. If there is such a book. Send it to me.
I've got a grievance. I've got a grievance. I've known Mark for about 3 to 4 years, and he's still acting like he's a novice to this football thing, even though he watches more of it than I do.
I know fuck all.
It's not true.
I know fuck all about football.
That's not true.
Come on.
It's not true.
You know,
You're an observant person, and you have your opinions, and you have your right to your opinions.
Well.
They're not all wrong.
Here's the thing. I watch football, and I can comment on it because I watch football. But there are things that are just kind of lost on me because I don't understand the rules of the game. And so I guess what I'm getting at is that sometimes I feel that it's like, yeah, I don't know. You know, it's like the advantages of a what I guess it would be like a 4-4-2. I don't know, over a 4-3-3 or whatever. I'm probably somewhere getting the numbers wrong, you know. But I don't know.
I think as you may have noticed in football, a lot of the formations don't actually matter. It's the people you put within them.
It's also true.
Yeah, and the formations are for that. But Mark, you're as much as I understand.
Technically, I know fuck all about football.
As much as I understand what you're saying.
What happened?
But Mark, like saying, I don't know, a 4-4-2, 4-4-3, 4-5-5, 19-12, whatever it is.
What are you, Todd Boehly?
But if I said to you, Mark, are you playing with 3 guys in the back, or are you playing 4 where the 2 are running forward and then you only have 2 in the back? Like, you understand all that shit very well.
Definitely understand. Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's just that stupid terminology where that's what we avoid on our show, Mark.
I hate football
I have
terminology.
shielded you from that.
This is why I'm on the show.
I have shielded you from that because I hate that bullshit when somebody comes up to me and says, like, what do you think you're going to play, a 4-4-2? I think fucking Lawrence did that on the show the other day of like, what do you think the best formation for Arsenal? I was like, I don't think I've ever heard that on this show.
Najee was a big, like, he was really into the formations. I just want to, like, for those of you that don't know the story and that have been with us through our entire journey, I'm heading home from work. I get a text from Lolo. He says, I'm at the bar. I have an idea. Come on over. And I do. And he's like, what do you know about the Premier League? And I'm like, what's that? And he's like, well, it's the English soccer. I have an idea for a show and I want you on it. I'm like, okay, great. And he's like, so here's what you need to do. There's a match tomorrow. You're going to watch it. And then you're going to come over and we're going to do a show. And I'm like, okay. And the rest is our story, and that's how we got to meet Mr. Tom and Ben and Mo Master and Scooby Doo and Bremer's Ghost and Gary and all these people. So I guess what I guess what I'm getting at on this Festivus for the rest of us as we head into our penultimate show of 2024 is that I'm so glad I got that text, and so glad that we're doing this, and we've been doing this for so long.
Me too, Mark. Appreciate that.
Not me.
And John. Oh, definitely you, John. You're on the God mic. You know?
Yeah.
But seriously, John.
Yeah.
You're on the God mic, man. We couldn't have done this without you. And all the people that were involved, for sure. You know, so I don't know why I had to. That is my anti-grievance.
Yeah, reverse grievances are there.
The reverse grievance, the bizarro grievance.
Well, that's it for tonight's show, everybody. I hope you all have had a good time. We've had a good time talking with y'all. What is Jimmy saying? Next time Lolo and Mark are over, come over for a few extra days and watch some local football. Anytime, Jimmy. I'll be there in September. I'll be there in late September. Let's work something out. I'm going to try and get Mark to come with me. We're working on tickets now.
And I'll bring my shirt to give to Rosie.
Yeah. Well, no. Hopefully you won't. Because you're only doing that if Chelsea win the league. So hopefully that shirt is,
I didn't realize it came with strings.
Oh, you just thought she said, give me your shirt?
I forgot.
You're like,
I
yeah,
forgot.
sure. You're such an easy whore.
No, I'm a hoe.
You're a ho, my friend.
That's right. I'm an ho.
Oh ho. My lord. Hopefully we'll get out to Molyneux as well.
Yeah.
I would love to do that as well.
I've
got a bunch of stadiums that grounds that I would love to go to. Molyneux is one of them. I would love to go to a home match, Molyneux. Clearly not an away match at Molyneux because I'm like, who are these people playing? But yeah, anyway, much love to you guys. I hope everybody has a great Christmas. If you celebrate Christmas, happy Merry Christmas.
Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, and a solemn Ramadan.
Festivus as well. And a happy Festivus as well. So cheers to everybody. Love you, Director John. Love you, Mr. Tom. Love you, Mark. Love you all in the comments. Have a great night, everybody. Peace.